Hi guys, I am Glenn, also known as Mr. Crafty Man, and I would like to welcome you to my channel. So I want to do just a little bit of background here just because of the title of this video, An Unexpected Turn of Events. For those of you who don't know, April of last year, 9 months ago, almost 9 months ago to the day, I was diagnosed with stage 4 chronic kidney disease with a GFR of 25. After 90 days, I got that GFR up to 67, which was higher than it was like 15 years ago. And they say that you lose like 1 to 2% of your GFR every year, so I kind of wonder if I almost somehow turned back the hands of time a little. It's weird. All the doctors say that chronic kidney disease is not reversible, it's not curable, but it's almost like I seem to have done that in 90 days. My blood pressure went down. My A1C went from 14 to 5.2. My sleep apnea disappeared. I went from like over 30 events a night to less than a half event, or 30 events per hour to less than a half of an event per hour. So everything was going really good the first 90 days. If you want to know what I did during the first 90 days, I will post a link to that video in the description of this video. It's really important to watch that video. It's an hour and 4 minutes, but watch the whole thing. It's very important. I don't want to have questions if you don't watch the whole video, and normally I can tell who did and didn't watch the video because there's a ton of questions. So for 90 days, I did a program that I kind of came up with on my own because I wasn't liking what the nephrologists were saying, what my general practitioner was saying, and what the renal dietitians were saying. And they all kept saying, they kept talking about staying comfortable and quality of life. I hate that term, quality of life. I'm not concerned about being comfortable and the quality of my life. I'm considered about living. I would rather be in pain and live than no pain and die. But the dietitians in particular was what was kind of seemed very odd to me, because the things that they were telling me it's okay to eat, it just didn't sound right. So to make a long story short, I started doing my own investigating, started using myself as a guinea pig, and in 90 days my BUN was down from 81 to like 11. My GFR was up from 25 to 67. So then after that 90 days, I haven't released what I had been doing yet because I want all of you to be focusing on that first 90 days. But I changed up my program, and so from like the end of August, let's see, August all the way up to November, the end of November, I had been trying something different. In October, my GFR had gotten up to 72, but then the end of November, I had gotten sick, and this had nothing to do with kidneys or anything. It was my own fault. I wasn't mixing my chemicals in the hot tub right, and turns out I'm allergic to chlorine, so I got really sick from that, had to go on antibiotics, and it lowered my GFR. I wasn't extremely concerned about that because by this time I knew what I had to do to raise my GFR. So I figured, okay, well, I'm just going to have to bust butt. Well, then last week, I started to notice my blood pressure was rising. So I called my doctor, and she said, I want you to come in and I want to do labs on you to see how your kidneys are doing. And this was totally unexpected. I had no clue what to expect from this. I figured since my blood pressure had started rising, it wasn't horrible, but it was elevated. And I had seen it coming because I mentioned in other videos I wear multiple monitors. And the reason I wear multiple monitors is because they both do different things. So I like to track all of my vitals. So I had noticed that my heart rate was rising, nothing horrible, but also that my blood pressure was rising a little. So I went in on Thursday. I think she told me on Monday or Tuesday that I needed to come in, and I was kind of afraid. I figured that with the blood pressure going up and the pulse going up, and also last week and the beginning of, last week and the beginning of this week, I had gotten sick. My grandson had some sort of a flu or something, and I got it. And I know that when I get sick, my GFR drops, my heart rate goes up, and my blood sugar starts to rise. And I was seeing all of those things happening, so I was hoping that I could wait it out until I wasn't sick anymore, but the doctor called and she said, hey, I noticed you haven't come in yet. You need to get in here and do the blood test. So I did. I went in Thursday morning. She told me that she would call me on Friday when she got the results back. She didn't. Unfortunately, with the VA, when you do blood tests, you can go in the next day if you'd like, and you can ask for the results, and they don't just hand them to you. They notify your medical team that you're there, and somebody comes out. And I didn't like the vibe I got from the nurses last time. It was almost kind of like, well, what are you doing here? Something like that. So I didn't want to do that. So I waited. And then this morning when I logged on, it just so happens the results were there. And these results were totally unexpected. I had been not completely busting my butt, but I'd been busting my butt ever since the end of November. And I was expecting my GFR to probably be in the low 60s. But what was completely unexpected was what my results actually were. And I attribute this to what I have been doing since the end of November. So from the end of August until the end of November, I had been doing one experiment, and it only got my GFR from 67 to 72. And then, like I said, it dropped back down to 70. So I changed the plan up the end of November. And I've told most of you that I'm working on a book right now, and the book is going to be like Mr. Crafty Man, reverse, stop, or cure kidney disease in 90 days. Well, what I've been working, and it's also going to be a food guide that's kidney and diabetic friendly. The one I've been referring to you is not diabetic friendly, so you've been having to go in and replace ingredients in it. But what I'm working on now is beyond 90 days. It's going to be Mr. Crafty Man beyond 90 days, and this is going to be what has worked even better than what I did after the end of August. So what was unexpected is what the GFR turned out to be. And I don't know if you can see this or not, probably not, but I'm going to tell you. Even being sick, my GFR was 79. So I can only imagine if I hadn't been sick the past week and a half, it was probably in the low 80s to 85. So I know a lot of you were a little concerned when I got in the Facebook group this morning and said that something totally unexpected had happened, and I never thought that I could get my GFR to 79. And about a month from today, I am going in and I'm having another set of lab done, and hopefully I'm not going to be sick at that time, and we'll see if I can break into the 80s. I kind of suspect I can. I'm gonna work hard, and if I get there, I'm gonna celebrate, and I'm gonna share that celebration with you. I'm gonna let you know what I did beyond 90 days. I started this Facebook group, I think it's been about 90 days now, so we should have people in the group right now who have been on this program for 90 days. And I want you guys to let me know and be honest. Tell me if you've been busting butt, have you been doing this 100%, or have you cheated a little bit? And I can kind of tell from your results who has been cheating a little bit. So be honest. Be honest. And those of you who don't know about the Facebook group, I'm going to put a link to the group in this video also. There's about 1,000 of us there. Everybody's got chronic kidney disease, and a lot of them have got diabetes as well. But anyway, sorry if some of you got concerned when I got in the Facebook group this morning and mentioned something totally unexpected had happened. Just so you know, 16 years ago, my GFR was at 66. I have never seen it at 79, but I didn't start tracking my GFR until this year, and I had went back in my medical records, and the highest GFR I had found was 15 years ago at 66. So 79 is like much higher than that. I'm really happy about that. I know that what I'm doing right now is working. I had thought that my GFR had kind of plateaued at like 67 to 70, 72 max. I figured it was going to stay there, but now that I see that it's still rising, and I want to mention something. I told you guys in, I believe it was my first video, that your GFR can rise for up to 18 months, and I caught a lot of flack over that, people saying no it can't, but you can see it's been 9 months now since I was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease, and with the exception of when it dropped from 72 to 70, it has risen every single time. So I know that there is going to be a point where it's going to reach its max. I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, every time I've done a test and I get results back, like I remember when I went from 25 to, when I was 25, I was saying, boy, I wish that I could at least get it to 30. Then the next test it was 31. Then I'm sitting there, boy, I wish I could at least get it to 40. Well, then it was something, I think it was like 42. And then I was like, well, you know, if I could get it to 50, I would be really, really happy. And this is when they were doing tests like every 2 weeks. So I was like 2 weeks to a month. Then I got it up to 50 something, and I said, boy, if I could get it to 60, I'd be happy. And I got it to 67, and then after that 67, it was like 3 months before I got tested again. But anyway, I don't know when this is going to stop. I'm going to keep busting my butt off until it does. Then when I get to the point that it does plateau, that doesn't mean I can relax. That doesn't mean I'm 100% cured. I know I can feel it in my bones that if I was satisfied with where I was, and I stopped busting butt, stopped working out, stopped eating plant-based and everything, it's going to go right back to where it was. I really think that would happen, or at least it'll drop quite a bit. So just know this isn't a diet. This isn't some sort of fad or something. This is your new lifestyle. I know sometimes the food is not that enjoyable, but there's different things that you can do to make it more enjoyable. So anyway, if you're new to my videos, like and subscribe. I don't have a lot of subscribers. I don't have a lot of viewers. Don't have a ton of likes. And also click the link down here in the bottom and join my Facebook group. Probably about once an hour, I'm accepting new people into it, approving new people. And also, if you're new, click the link down here for the 1 hour and 4 minute video. Watch it all the way through. I look at the analytics for that, and I see there's been like 270,000 views on it, and out of those 270,000 views, only 17% of you have watched that video all the way through. There's only 1,000 of you out of those 270,000 people that have joined my Facebook group. And I'm not making any money off of this. I'm not charging for what I've learned. It just doesn't feel right to charge for it. I mean, to me, it's been a blessing to me. I've prayed to God multiple times a day for healing and knowledge and wisdom. And I know that just by praying for healing, you can't pray and just sit back and wait for it. You've got to do your part too. And so God has helped me gain wisdom and knowledge in what to do. I'm thankful to that. He's blessed me, and blessing should be shared. So that's why I'm not charging for this. I kind of liken it to charging for Bibles. It just doesn't seem right to me to sell Bibles when God's Word is meant to be shared with everyone. And it shouldn't be. God's Word is meant to be shared with everyone as long as you can afford to buy the Bible. And I believe like 100% in my heart, and I've been given proof now that God does answer prayer. And just know He does answer prayer. He always answers prayer, but it's not always the answer that you might want. God gives 3 answers. He's either going to say yes, wait, or I've got other plans for you. So don't be disappointed if you don't get the exact answer that you were wanting. He will answer prayer. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Tomorrow we're going to have the video that I promised you, the plant-based ramen noodles, and it's 100% healthy, 100% plant-based, and it is delicious. I've probably had it like 5 or 6 times the past 2 weeks for dinner. So anyway, we will be back with that tomorrow. Sorry for scaring any of you. Thanks for watching.